Two of the three major Indo-Pakistani wars were ignited as a result of territorial disputes over the Kashmir region in 1947 and in 1965. So this is where Kashmir is in correspondence to India and Pakistan, and this image clearly defines territorial boundaries within and around the Indo-Pakistani region. Important notes given on the map include that Kashmir is administered by Pakistan, but Jammu and Kashmir are administered by India, so we can definitely visualize this conflict, and we can see the disputed areas, the disputed borders, and where everything is in correlation to the other. Which leads us to question number 1, which is what lies at the heart of the conflict, and it sparked due to the territorial disputes over the Kashmir region. Those were the first two battles, which led to later battles because of the tensions. The spatial extent of the Indo-Pakistani War is the Indian subcontinent, highlighting Pakistan, India, Kashmir, and Jammu. So what is the spatial extent of the conflict? The answer is the Indian subcontinental regions of the conflicted parties, Pakistan and India, and the territorial disputed parties, Jammu and Kashmir. The forms in which this conflict endure include direct fighting, terrorism, and political disagreement. Applying what we learned from the beginning of the video, two examples of direct fighting would be the territorial disputed wars, which made up 2/3 of the major Indo-Pakistani wars. As I mentioned earlier, those are both fighting over Kashmir. According to Vengage.com and this timeline, another example of a direct fighting war would be the 1999 war over Kargil. Vengage.com also says that India claims that the rebels are Islamic terrorist groups fighting to make Jammu and Kashmir a part of India. India also states that the terrorists have killed many citizens in Kashmir and committed human rights violations, whilst denying their armed forces are responsible for these actions. Question 2, what form does this conflict take? The answer would be direct fighting, terrorism, and political disagreement. Two examples of direct fighting would be the territorial disputes, and another one would be the 1999 war. Back to this beneficial timeline, we can see all of the important events during the Indo-Pak conflict, and as we've been saying, it started in 1947 with the territorial dispute over Kashmir, and it is still going on today in 2019. Which answers question 2, how long has there been tension and conflict? And as I said, it began in 1947, and it still continues on today. Because of these many years of conflict,
a lot of people have been affected. Thousands have died in the wars, and this has also created conflicts among other groups.
The answer to number 5, how many people have been affected and in what ways? The wars were created as a result of the conflict and tension, therefore thousands have died.
This has a significant impact on U.S. interests because the U.S. has provided India with assistance in development and also has helped Pakistan gain better defensive supplies. The U.S. wants to maintain power and not side with any of the countries.
Question number 6, why should the U.S. be interested or disinterested? First of all, the U.S. did provide for both India and Pakistan, which helped maintain power, but the U.S. should not have significant interest unless the conflict spreads globally.
What is the potential impact of this conflict on the world? The potential impact of the conflict would involve the possibility of nuclear weapons creating a nuclear war. Nuclear war would not only impact human life, but scientists believe that these weapons would have a large impact on the world's environment. Nuclear explosions could start firestorms that send tons of smoke into the atmosphere. This smoke could cripple the ozone layer, causing global cooling and trigger food shortages. The ozone damage would allow harmful amounts of UV radiation to reach the Earth, hurting and affecting species all over the planet. The involvement of China and the U.S. with these two countries is also going to affect the world due to the armed forces that are stationed there and the influence both countries have on these areas. How has religion played a role in this conflict? India and Pakistan were created by the partition of British India in 1947, a split driven mostly by religion. Pakistan became primarily Muslim and India remained mostly Hindu. The drawing of their new country's borders uprooted 14 million people and resulted in violence that killed many people. The two countries have fought 3 major wars since 1947, 2 of them over Jammu Kashmir. India now controls 2/3 and Pakistan controls 1/3. In 2001, representatives of the All India Hindu Protection Committee introduced a 200-year-old Khairudin mosque in Amritsar and burned copies of the Islamic holy book Quran and threw pork, a meat forbidden to Muslims, into the main compound. The Hindu group claimed this was in revenge for murdering of innocent cows in Afghanistan by the Taliban government. Hindus think cows to be sacred animals. This continued struggle of power and religion has increased tension among the two countries.